Boy Carcino here. Hope all y'all are having a blessed day out there. Let's get to it because for some weird reason, this seems to be a trending topic that they keep bringing up as a running joke that's really ridiculous if you ask me, but this is the new world. This is the new reality that we live in today where everyone's stupid. Now, I understand that some of you just don't know. You weren't around. You weren't even born, most of you. So why would anybody even really care? Right? Well, it's not real news to me. But to you, this might appear to be real news. We have already covered this. That's what I thought. But everyone keeps talking about, yo, Cito, you got to check it out. Kell and nigga gay. I'm like, dog, I got asked this during the Labor Day family reunion. This thing was in the New York Post. The New York Post. Because of a bitter, sick woman. Who used to be married to Kell. Who threatened to sue me if I didn't take a video down. My video is still up. In case you want to know my answer to that. Now, this bitter, scorned woman chose her words very carefully, right? The bitter, scorned woman, she decided it would be in her best interest to choose how she placed her words. When she said, Nick Cannon dressed up in her cheerleading outfit and danced around in the bed for Kell to cheer him up because he cheated on me. Now, here's the thing. She placed it like that so that everybody can grab it and run along with the tagline. She said it exactly like that. So she would not say, she knew that everybody in the world would assume and allude to the fact that they were sleeping with each other. She knew that you guys would do that for her. She knew that y'all would do that. Y'all would jump up, jump the gun, and run outside and start spewing that information. She knew it. So that was why she was careful in how she placed her words, because she know, like I know, Nick isn't gay and neither is Kell. So her thing was to imply that, to get you guys to start talking And now everybody didn't hear that. All they hear is they were sleeping together and he was dressed up like a cheerleader. I got asked that at a family picnic. And people are still running around with this. So to see her the scorned, bitter ex-wife portray like she was the victim when she's the one that did the jail time. Kell didn't go to jail, she did. You know, I understand you're unhappy. Kell is remarried, got a new family, new children. You're bitter. You want money. Now, for the rest of you, y'all might want to know what these two are like, right? What is Kell and Nick alike? I'll explain it to you once again. For those, this might be your first time here. So let's go through it. When Nick came up here from San Diego, Nick was living out of his car. He saved his show money and was living in his car. When he first got there, a lot of the fans didn't really like Nick when he first started, because they would introduce the cast. And the fans were so caught into Kell. Kell was all the kids at all the shows on the tapings. They would have different people coming to the studios for the tapings, the live audience, and they would go watch the show and all this. So Kell would get the biggest applause. He was more popular than Keenan. Kell was the star of the show. Now, some might say, well, what happened after that? Well, it's very interesting, people. Very, very interesting. Because after the fact, Kell came out doing Nick's thing. Because they's like, oh, he's just trying to be Kell. Kell came out and grabbed Nick and was like, no, this is my boy Nick, man. Y'all show him some love. He came out to support and champion Nick, to really get him over with the crowd. He did that for him. Yes, he absolutely did. Then, then on top of that, Kell was doing two shows at the same time. Him and Keenan. They were doing the Keenan and Kell show, and then they were doing the All That show. Bitter, angry ex-wife was often complaining about stuff. A lot. She's complaining he should have more days off work. He's working too much. He needs to go in and demand he has Fridays off. There's no way you shouldn't have Fridays off. You're a star. So he goes in, starts a fight, and ends up getting Fridays off. And life was getting real uncomfortable on the set for a lot of people when it came to dealing with Kell. Now, this I didn't know. Now, how does this pertain to Nick? Nick is doing the show All That, and he's got more time now since Kell has decided he's only going to do one show, and that's the Keenan and Kell show. He'll guest appearance sometimes on All That, but he'll no longer be one of the major leading cast members anymore. Then, outside of work, what the general public didn't know, Kell and Keenan really didn't hang out that much. Now, if she'd have told this story about Keenan and Nick, it would make more sense. But see, she wants to get back at her husband, at her ex-husband, so she's got to throw him in it. Nick was living in his car. Keenan had a two-bedroom condo and told Nick, you can stay at my house. And he let Nick stay in. He's like, I got an extra room. You can stay at my crib. You know, it ain't no problem. He was like, for real? And he was like, yeah. This is why Nick and Keenan became best friends. Those two were close. Not Kell. Kell was cool with Nick. Like, they friends, they cool, whatever. Hey, what's up, what's up? But they never got to the fact that they were that tight. It never got to that point. That's what I'm saying. Kell and Nick, like Nick came out to Kell's 21st birthday party. He came here to Chicago. And that was one of I think that was the second time I met Nick. That was the second time. And everybody kept calling him Will Smith. But Nick came out, he kicked it, he danced with the family members, the little girl. Nick did everything. Right. Nick and Keenan hung out all the time. And the only reason Keenan had Nick come live with him is because he saw all the hoes was coming for Nick. And Keenan was like, look, This is perfect. You live with me, you stay in my one bedroom, you gonna bring all the hoes over and I get to bang a friend. So this is perfect. Cause Keenan by himself ain't finna get no bras like that, even though he on the show. Keenan was always at the strip clubs. But that's beside the point. Kell was living a relationship married life. So he wasn't really hanging out with them. When Nick was going out, Keenan was going out, though they were all single. Kell was with this bitter, crazy ex-wife of his. She did exactly what she wanted to do. She's got notoriety and fame for creating this this climate that Nick and Kell were doing something. It's the dumbest thing. If anybody who don't know them, I can see how y'all be jumping off because everybody be like, yeah, see, that's how they do these stars. When she was like, they tried to make me do stuff at Nickelodeon. Made you do what? Work? Because nobody was pursuing her for no damn roles. She blew my nose. I mean, she blew my mind with all that talking about. Yeah, they tried to seduce, get me, and all that. This this person was always hanging around, trying to be into movies and all of this television stuff. Kell was the reason she was in anything. He would request just put her in a role, let her get a cameo. That's when she was starting making appearances on all that. They weren't looking for her. Who the hell was looking for you? You was damn near grown. You have like no resume whatsoever. Are you kidding me? Thank you. Right. The dog, I can count the amount of times Nick and Kell hung out. I could probably count on one hand, how many times they actually really hung out in a setting where they was just hanging. How many times did I meet Nick? I don't know, maybe 7, 8, maybe more than that. That's the thing. Every time I met Nick, he was probably with Kell. I met Nick plenty of times, and Kell ain't never been there. I met Nick twice here in Chicago. Well, actually, the most time I met him has been here. It's like 3, 4 times I met him here. He was DJing here. Then he came and did stand up comedy here. Met him again there. Then where else we meet him at? Mm-hmm. I know. How you think y'all didn't know nothing about Beyonce and Nick Cannon until I said it. And then Nick had to say something about it because it was popping. But y'all never knew that. Now, I had talked to Nick at one point more than I've talked to Kell. Kell was married at the time. You know, like Kell's not single. You feel me? Kell wasn't single at the time. Kell is married. He's got kids. He's not like Nick and Keenan. They can get up and go. Nick and Keenan, y'all, please. People would joke and say they were like, oh, y'all boyfriend and y'all, because they was living together and stuff. Like, oh, look at y'all two. Y'all like a married couple. Like people used to joke with him about that, but no, ain't nobody ever think that about Keenan or Nick. No, no, Nick like hoes. Hey, Nick like hoes. Ain't nobody gonna ever say that about Kell either. Kell never dated no man. Like, you serious? Like, we ain't come up in that era. That's not like our era at all. All the producers touched Kell and all this stuff. I don't know nothing about that. I don't see that in them at all. You know, it is Hollywood. Something like that could happen. There's possibilities of that happening, but I doubt it because if he did that, his career would have went in a different direction had he agreed. I know firsthand he turned down things because of his religious beliefs, just because he couldn't be seen doing these type of roles. Major motion pictures turned down. Kell was supposed to be in Me, Myself, and Irene. He turned that down because of the profanity. It was too much profanity. He's supposed to be one of the three sons. And he turned the role down. Then he started to get blacklisted in Hollywood. And they put by his name, difficult to work with. And once that's just basically burying you in Hollywood. The agency thinking about casting you, they see difficult to work with, you're done. So for years, he's trying to fight the stigma that he's difficult to work with. So everybody's like, man, what happened to Kell? What happened to Kell? What happened to Kell? He's being blacklisted for not playing ball. So if he was doing all those type of things that she's alluding to, because the crazy, deranged, scorned ex-wife wanted to put that out there because why? He got a new wife, new kids, she mad, he happy, and he ain't talking about her. So she's very unhappy about that. Did you see him respond? You didn't see him respond, did you? Nope, he did not respond. You know what he did? He just kept staying with his prayer, staying with his book, focused on his life, his wife, his family. course not. Their relationship, as far as them, they boys. Like, they cool. They see each other, they cool. They never had a friendship that was in the realm of what all you guys might think of when you think of a friendship. They were not like we tight all the way. They were not that. They were castmates on the show, but they weren't as cool like that. Keenan and Nick Cannon were cool. They were boys. They were way closer. They were roommates. They were best friends. Um, when Nick blew up, he went and got Keenan and brought Keenan along and helped Keenan get the audition for Fat Albert. Kell was supposed to be in Fat Albert as well. He went to audition for one of the roles, and he didn't get it because difficult to work with. Yeah, Nick and Kell didn't speak for years, like about 10 years. So 10 years that went by, those two weren't even speaking. I had spoke to Nick before, like since Kell and Nick had spoke. Those two weren't even speaking to each other. It had gotten to that point where like Kell saw Nick somewhere and he felt Nick blew him off. And he was like, Nick looked right at me, turned away, and didn't even acknowledge me. And that pissed Kell off. So at that point, they didn't speak for, and then, Keenan wasn't speaking to him. So if Keenan wasn't speaking to him, neither was Nick. And Kell was like, oh man, I don't even know what I did to them. So now everybody patched things up and everybody is boys again. Everybody is back like, okay, we all crew. This is the Kell we like, and it's cool. You got rid of the toxic ex-wife. So the one denominator who's not around, because Keenan is back cool with Kell, Nick is back cool with Kell, everybody back boys again. But it's one denominator that isn't there anymore. That was there during the division. The bitter, deranged, crazy ex-wife. Hmm. Okay. Starting to see that now. There's a growing trend. No, you guys just love fantasy. Y'all get caught in this reality show crap. And when that happens, it just affects all y'all brain cells and y'all can't even think anymore. So y'all grab onto the next show. And this is dudes more than it is women. It's guys. Guys be right along with it, running around, talking about, oh man, you see this? They be watching Love and Hip Hop more than the women. Sure y'all do. Y'all watch it more than the women. Instead, go get them blessings. Get the Kell book, Blessed Mode. Bless up. Once he drop his book, that's when she want to start talking. The wife, the bitter ex-wife, want to start talking negatively about Kell again. Every week she's been talking, but she never went viral until she said that, alluded to that Nick and Kell are possibly doing something together, which is a lie. It's a bold-faced lie. She know it is. That's why she said it the way it was. Because if it was the truth, she'd have just said it. Why don't you just say it then? But she's not gonna say it because she know it isn't true. And she know what kind of trouble she would be in for saying some slanderous lie like that. But they already know about her. She went to jail for trying to steal a house. Now she wants Kell to pay her money. I want my back child support. I need all this money. It's all about money. And y'all can't even see it. Y'all so caught in the fantasy of wanting people to be gay. Y'all the weirdos. I had to sit there and answer this on Labor Day weekend. I'm like, it's Labor Day weekend, and I gotta sit here and answer questions about Nick and Kell. People like, man, is it true? I'm like, what? Yeah, he knew them dudes, man. They was in the bed together. I'm like, remember, baby, I was telling you about the guy that knew the people that was in bed together? I'm like, hold on. What? You say something in this world, it becomes reality. No matter how false it is, you say something one time, these people run it, take it, run with it, and that's facts in their world. You said the interview I did with Kell seemed a little off. What you mean, bro? What interview? You talking about when we spoke when we spoke to each other? You talking when we was on his IG? Is that what you talking about? Yeah, we was on IG. That wasn't an interview. He was promoting his book. And we went and bought mass copies and gave it to people on the Patreon. And I was speaking to him and we started talking about old time. You saw, as soon as he saw my face, he was like, oh my God. Like, oh man, I know you. I was like, yeah, you know me. He wasn't bothered at all. We just hadn't spoke. Me and him hadn't spoke in like years before that happened. Well, he wasn't bothered at all. He was actually very happy that we actually spoke, because he didn't know what I was on, what's been happening, nothing. Because, like I said, when we spoke, we was talking about his moms. I'm like, I reached out to your moms and spoke to your mom, and she called him. But the guy was trying to get in contact with them. But Kell has never been. It's not even close. Like, that stuff we didn't grow up in that era where that was the thing. Kell wasn't like that. Nick wasn't like that. Keenan, I met Keenan, hung out with Keenan. Keenan damn sure wasn't like that. Everybody had the same attitude. We all wanted hoes. Kell was the one that was married before everybody, really. He was out the game, married, and he was a family man. So he was already out the game. Everybody else was still hanging. So that's why I hung out with Nick probably more than Kell did. I talked to Nick's people more than probably Kell did. When they weren't speaking to each other, I was cool with Nick. Because I didn't even know who was the crew. Megan Good and her sister. They normally hung out with Kell's crazy, bitter, ex-wife. But they were with her. You had Wesley Jonathan, Nick Cannon, Kell Mitchell, Kenan Thompson, and kid in Boomerang, the one that went to the art museum with Haley Berry. You don't care enough about me to learn my name, sister? He became a producer, a music producer. Well, that's when I started to learn the Cutthroat movie soundtrack so he can get some money, even though they don't even know the dude. They're like, we don't even really know this guy. Hey, we're in the show business, baby. Universal is like, we know him. He works for us. And since they was already paying this producer, they let that producer do the track instead of Kenny. But Kenny had his version, so they was going to use that beat for another song. He's like, we'll just use it for another song. They was going to try to make a remix, and hopefully they put it on a single and just call it the remix, because the original version was better. Kenny version was way better. This was more Hollywood studio polished. And the producer was I don't know if y'all remember that group Kuo that Michael Jackson signed. The two kids, the black kid and the white kid. Kuo. I got photos of me hanging out with Nick. So what is you talking about? You gotta understand, Nick wasn't the Nick Cannon at the time. There was no Mariah. There was no Gigolo. There was none of that. So for you to believe that, to you it's like, you were hanging with Nick? Y'all made me forget my watch. Well, that's good. I don't know who Keisha K. Orr is, but whatever that is, or whoever that is, much love and respect to them. Oh, okay. That's just somebody trolling. Yeah. I ain't think anybody could really be that stupid. And then I forgot who it is. I saw the name and said, okay, there's the troll for attention guy. We just ignore him. Now, well, when you look at the main picture and you look at everybody involved, you start saying to yourself, okay, what is it here that we need to actually do? You know, we've seen what people say we should do, but what should we actually do? Well, for me, it's different. I never had any ill wills toward anybody, but especially her. Here's the thing, the bitter, crazy ex-wife, me and her never really had a problem. Like, at one point, I had spoke to her more than I spoke to Kell. She was the one always at home answering the phone. Before she allegedly did what she did. And I believe him way before I believe her. I mean, I would have had a problem with the fact that she got up her prom picture with her and Chris McAllister that played for the Baltimore Ravens. They went on prom together. And then that was her former boyfriend. And then she ended up going with Kell. Because she's like, Kell finna be this big star. He going to the NFL, but he's just a cornerback. Then he got a $60-something million contract. And then she started feeling like regrets. Start putting up the picture, pointing at, telling everybody that come over, yeah, Chris McAllister, yeah, the one that played, yeah, I used to date him. Here's our picture. Not in the house that I'm paying for. Oh, hell no. Sorry, you ain't even finna be praising no other man in my house. That was a problem then. He should have checked that. As a husband, you should have checked that right then and there. And Kell, you know what you told me. He told me her parents liked McAllister more than they liked him. And he was the husband. No, it's just Kell was nice. He was a nice person. So he allowed things that shouldn't have probably been allowed. They should have never been married. It was a rush marriage because he didn't want his image destroyed of him having kids out of wedlock. So they rushed and got married. Should never married that woman. We didn't know nothing really about her until he brought her. When we first met her, he brought her to Chicago, and it was like his birthday. And that's when we met her, and he showed her off, and he's like, "She fine, ain't she?" I'm like, yeah, she nice, she cute. And she seemed as airheaded as she does today. Complete airhead. Next thing you know, she's a rapper. And she's in the rap group. And her name is Bombay. And to her credit, she didn't sound bad. Now, I'm gonna give this credit to her. She did not sound bad. I thought this was the worst idea in history when I heard it. But them performing together and doing stuff together, it didn't sound bad. The music she didn't mess up the songs. I said, I'm surprised. I thought you literally was gonna screw this up, and you didn't. I'm very shocked. Hold up, is that my boy? What the hell is he doing out here? I know that's his car. Let me follow this and see what's going on here. Because that looked like him. No, that's got to be him. The one light out. What the hell? No, stay in this lane. Let me see what's going on here. I'm kind of waiting to see what this guy do. Because this might be somebody else driving my boy with. Somebody steal his car? Let me just follow it so I can get ahead of these people. There's too many cars out here right now. I missed my turn. It's a whole different mission going on right now. Okay, now I can get on the side of it. That's him. I was gonna say, I thought somebody stole his whip. He can't even hear nothing. What you doing? What you doing? What you doing off work? Huh? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I thought you got fired or something. I'm like, you know your light's still out. Okay. Oh man. Yeah, I thought somebody stole your car. I was looking at that. I said, wait a minute, he got a haircut. I don't think that's him. So I started following. I was like, I gotta follow this car. Because I didn't think you saw me. I saw that. I'm like, your car is definitely 100% recognizable. I saw the license plate. I said, that's the car. Oh, okay. All right. See, I gotta look out for my boys. You know, somebody stole his car, you know, I might have to go get it back. But I was like, wait a minute, that's my homeboy. What is he doing? I'm like, you supposed to be at work. But he came in early today. Because of the holiday, he came back early. I don't know, man. Anybody that spoke Spanish this week went to go see Daddy Yankee. I'm like, Daddy who? Daddy Yankee is here. He's still a thing? Daddy Yankee? I didn't even know people were still talking about him. Shoot, man, everybody who spoke Spanish in my neighborhood or neck of the woods was out doing that. No, Kell is not, and neither is Nick. So that's two people that are not even remotely close to being what you would call gay. Nick Cannon ain't gay, Kell ain't gay, Keenan ain't gay, I ain't gay. Yeah, so many, it's the new wave. It's the new wave. Everybody got to be gay. And that fits the thing, the narrative. And you see how it went viral. Them just saying that. She just alluded to the fact and wanted y'all to do the work for her. So she could say, I never said they were sleeping together. You see what I'm saying? So that's how you know it's fake. She knew what she was doing. Believe me, she just wants to cause any kind of disruptance to Kell, his new wife, his beautiful kids that he got with his new wife. She's bitter. She see all that. She's bitter. Oh, she's bitter as hell. What's wrong with these idiots? How you at a turn like how you in the turn lane and you're not even turning? You falling asleep in the turning lane when you in the middle of the street waiting for cars to pass to turn. Wine Nose, Cherry Hill Counseling. It's ridiculous. Oh, definitely. There's never been a duo like that, I don't think, in any from Disney or Nickelodeon. Kenan and Kell will always be synonymous. They helped Nickelodeon take down Disney. Nickelodeon has never ever been in the runnings to topple or even be in the same category as Disney. They didn't even that playing field and get up. They was ahead of Disney at that time when Kenan and Kell was out. The way they work with one another, I don't think you've seen that type of chemistry in a long time in comedy. Kell's ex-wife is bitter. You know, she went to jail for trying to steal a house. She went to, after the fact, she went through a lot. She's bitter. She thinks Kell owes her a bunch of money for child support, wife's support. All you got to do is follow the breadcrumbs, and then you'll see why she said what she said. She knows everybody's following this climate of the child abuse and Nickelodeon and Disney stars. And so she's like, oh, well, they probably did this to Kell. I wouldn't be surprised. It's ridiculous. That's why she ain't. Why do you think she's not on a big platform? Why do you think she's on some rinky-dink show? And no knock on the rinky-dink show, but that's low tier compared to everybody else. That the show she went on was popular and made popular by Jaguar Wright. But I don't want to diss that person's channel. That person ain't done nothing wrong. They just doing what they can to get a story and blow something up. So no diss to their channel, but they're a small YouTube channel. They're considered a small YouTube channel. For somebody who's supposed to be of her stature, she should be on like The View or one of those type shows. Why she's not on The View or anything like that? I don't know if she's still friends with Ricky Bell's wife, but Like, I don't know. It seems like she's living with her parents. That's what it appears to look like. Looked like she had a lot of cosmetic work done. Typical Pasadena girl. Why she ain't on Tasha K? Go on and do your tour. I mean, her quote made the New York Post. So she's going to get a lot of attention now, but it's going to be the attention she don't want. Because she already know what I know about her. She know I know about the rap song. The diss song Kell wrote and made about you. She know that. She knows I know things that nobody else know. She knows that. That's why she was talking about suing. So she know I know. But if you keep on, I might have to resurface that song. Oh, it's been mixed and mastered and everything. Is done. That diss song on you is done. And it's not really a diss record, it's a life record. The song is called Divorce. And when he got divorced from you, that song was made. And oh boy, was it epic. And then no. What got me was the delusion of grandeur. How she's bragging about a bootleg type of movie, which was Cat Williams' first movie, really, called Ganked. Ganked. I would have been in that movie had I flown out there on my own dime. And I said, look, if y'all want me in the movie, I ain't gonna get paid for it. Somebody just gotta fly me out. So if y'all get me a plane ticket, I'll be in it. If not, then I ain't in it. Just I didn't have to be in the movie. Everybody was kind of making cameos in the movie. Like his family and everybody helping out. I'm like, look, I'll help out, but somebody gotta get me a flight. If y'all get me a flight, y'all ain't gotta pay me to be in it. I'll do it for free. But somebody just gotta fly me out. If y'all fly me out there, I'm good. No, not really. What I'm doing today, I gotta go places. uh, meet with people, finish running these errands, place some mail. It's a whole lot of stuff I gotta do. But I wanted to address this because during Labor Day weekend, people are asking me about it because they know Kell. So they pop right up with the whole questions. Kell's ex-wife, Esther Baxter. Esther Baxter. I don't remember what Esther Baxter looked like, to tell you the truth. Like every day I see video vixens. They're all in my DMs. What's up, baby? I don't trust any of it. All of it could be spam. So forgive me if I haven't seen your nudes that you didn't send. I had put them on the Patreon. I think they took them down, saying I couldn't put them up there. But to show y'all, this is not imagination, buddy. It's real. Chicks send me pics of boobs all day long and body parts and let's meet up. Are you in town? Who are you? Don't know you. Like, am I in town? I don't know you. Now, I don't know. I had to check out. Esther Baxter. I mean, Kell's wife wasn't an ugly woman. She just was an airhead. And when you're an airhead, you start, you lose the attraction. To me, I don't like an airhead woman. So that the attraction is out the window right away when you start seeing stuff like that. I can't get attracted to an airhead. That just wouldn't do it for me. No, they got a crossing guard now. A 10-year-old boy lost his life crossing the street. And since then, they got a crossing guard over there now. So, that's where we are, John. We are. Oh, will I talk about 50 Cent and Game? Probably later on tonight. But thank you for your time. Now it's time to take care of business. So now I had to get my other phone. Start taking care of business ASAP. With a damn charger. All right, I'm gonna holler at y'all. Love, peace, and hair grease.